Hello, I'm Louise, and I am joined today by Matt.
Hello.
Matt has been playing No Man's Sky.
I have.
You have indeed. We're doing a review in progress because, as you might know, we got our review copy rather late in the day, and due to the fact that this is an infinite game that goes on forever to the certain, centre of the universe, we're doing it gradually in stages. And you have done day 2.
I have. It seemed like the most sensible way of doing it, just because there are quintillions of planets, which is a number I didn't even know existed.
No, nor I.
Until this game came about. So yeah. Day 2 was a weird one, really. If you watch back to day 1, that was kind of the initial discovery bit where I kind of got sort of sense of the systems and how it works and stuff. And I think because it's so open, I decided to set myself some specific goals for day 2. So the plan was, basically I was on a moon that I quite liked, found a nice moon. I wanted to document all the life on that moon because then you get like a great big bonus. You get, I think it's 350,000 credits for documenting all the life.
Okay.
I was going to use that money to buy a new ship because mine's tiny and rubbish, and inventory management is a bit of a problem in this game. You're really quickly always running out of space.
Yeah.
So I thought bigger ship, more space, and then I was going to kind of travel on to to another galaxy and kind of like refine the path to the centre of the galaxy because I digressed a little bit and I kind of got off my own.
As you do.
Yeah, and it happens on sort of large and small scales in that game. So if you're going to your destination, you're going to get sidetracked and go off and find like a monument to look at. But also if you're looking in the galaxy map and you have the right stuff to go where you need to go, the temptation is just to, I'll just go and look over there.
Yeah, you got distracted a lot.
Yeah, it's a very distracting game. So that was the plan.
In terms of size, when someone says, hey, document everything on a planet, I mean, how long does that take?
There's kind of 3 tiers of it. So there's all the wildlife, which I think in my case are probably about 14 different animals, maybe a few more. There's all the plant life, which is much, much bigger, it seems. It seems like there's loads of that.
Okay.
And then there's all the locations, which again seems like it's huge. So each individual one of those you upload, you'll get a bonus for. And if you do all the animals, you get like a bonus all of its own. But I don't think you get that kind of cumulative bonus for the other 2 because there's just so many of them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I thought this is a moon. It'll be easy. Just take me 2 hours.
Never thought this is a moon, it will be easy.
I thought, a moon might have fewer animals on it than other places. And I landed in an area that had like 5 different types. So I thought, I've got a good head start. Okay. I'll just get all of those and then that'll be enough money for me to buy my lovely ship. So.
And was it enough?
And it took 6 hours, probably. And I had 3 left to find. And my entire right-hand side of my body started to ache. Because I've been sat there so long trying to find it. So I failed horribly. Yeah, it was a complete... not a waste of time, but I got to the point where I was so close to having done enough to get that bonus. I felt really reluctant to leave, but then also I was just doing nothing. I was going around in great big circles.
That does feel quite frustrating.
It was a little bit frustrating, yeah. I think it was... I said in the written review, I think about it now and all I want to do is go back in and play it again, but at the time I definitely had reached saturation point. Maybe that was just too long in a single sitting, or maybe it was the fact that I just wasn't able to find the thing, because the tools you have at your disposal for finding hidden things are kind of slightly limited. So we'll get into this a bit later, but one of the things you have is a multi-tool, which is kind of your gun, but also incorporated into that is like a scanner and like a visor, which you can use for looking around. You can kind of zoom in, and that's what you use for analysing stuff. Okay. And through analysing it and logging it, that's what you use to name things. So you kind of do a 360 in whatever location you are, and you're looking for these little red dots which signify any animals that you haven't found. So I was just sort of, kind of looking through my visor and spinning in circles and just going to different locations. And
I think because you're coming up with your own quest ideas, I mean, you decided I am going to make this many credits, I'm going to do this. The fact that the game it'll never impose any things upon you. You gave yourself that quest.
It is my own fault.
Nothing said, this is what you need to do, man. No. You put that upon yourself. So, on a wider scale, it's kind of interesting that the whole game is telling you, play the way you want and give yourself your own mission. You gave yourself the imposter mission. Yeah,
maybe I did, yeah. I know other people who have documented all the life on a single planet, but yeah, the goal is travel to the centre of the universe, and to facilitate that goal, sometimes you want to earn a bit of money to get a bigger ship, so it just makes things easier along the way. So, the choice on how you do that is fine. You could probably go in the first ship you find. You could probably get to the centre, but it's just a little bit fiddlier. Yeah. And also, I want a ship that looks like Boba Fett's from Star Wars.
Because why wouldn't you?
Yeah, exactly.
Did you meet anything particularly exciting when you were exploring with your...
Yeah, there was like a little sort of enclave of what we called gremlin bears. They looked ran around like Ewoks. You may have seen a very good GIF doing the rounds on Twitter today of a similar thing. but it was like the meat-eating version, which was kind of terrifying. Mine were mostly docile. So it was kind of variations on that. I met like a T-Rex with feathers.
Oh, nice. Was there any more? You got killed by pirates yesterday, didn't you?
Yeah, I didn't actually get killed at all yesterday, which is always a bonus. So no pirates actually on the planet's surface. I did annoy a few sentinels, so every planet has essentially like a kind of GTA 5 style police force that will keep an eye on you. If you start trying to break into buildings and things like that, then they get angry and they come after you, and it escalates. So the more things you destroy, the more of them you sort of not so much destroy, but the longer that you take to destroy them, the more they'll send your way.
Okay.
So you have to kind of blow them up fairly quickly. So that was about as close as I came. But yeah, it was fairly docile really, and that maybe didn't help in that I was just wandering around looking for kind of strange life forms. I wasn't really sure where to look. It is a whole moon. It's huge.
It's a whole moon in a whole galaxy of all the planets.
Yes.
So that's just one tiny, insignificant moon.
Yeah, it's quite intimidating. And I mean, this is potentially, I think, the thing that some people might find stretched over a really long distance. Is you probably will be doing the same sort of thing on every single planet you find. Yeah. As far as I know so far. So I'm going to go home and play it again tonight, and maybe as I get further into it, things will change. But that's a potential issue, I think.
Do you feel like you're kind of settling into it though?
Oh, definitely.
That's just
yeah, it's great fun. And I think anyone who likes collecting stuff in games.
Me.
Yeah, you collect language essentially, so you're unlocking words as you go.
Okay.
So then when you go and speak to a particular type of alien, part of what they say to you will gradually become uncovered, and there's kind of a puzzle element to that in that they'll ask you things, and you have to pick the right answer based on the knowledge of what words you have. But it's kind of a hoarder's paradise, really.
It's going to be a problem if I have problems with all these Lego studs.
Yeah, you're doomed.
18 quintillion planets might be a bit of a catastrophe. We actually have some questions that people have sent in. That
I shall do my best to answer them.
Let's check. So, Caden Longstaff says, what do you do besides gathering resources and fighting? It seems like you can do everything the game has to offer in under 2 hours.
In terms of variety, there's probably an element of truth in that, but I mean that's probably a criticism you could level at most games. You could probably, with the exception of something really kind of rich like GTA, where you're going to go windsurfing and play tennis and all that sort of stuff. It's different varieties of similar stuff. So like with the language collection stuff, like you're going to be collecting different languages from different races, which is sort of a goal in itself. Like all the mining stuff is part of it. There's a huge trade element to it as well. So some things you find will be worth more to certain traders than they are to others. I mean, it isn't staggering in scope in terms of the amount of things you can do. But for me, the sort of joy of finding a new place and potentially finding a whole new type of animal and things like that, that's probably what keeps it alive.
Yeah, it's the experience.
I
haven't played yet, and the more I hear about it, the more I'm like, I just want to take off into space and find things.
Yeah,
I just want to go.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah.
Johnny Lynn says, can you run out of ammo/lasers?
Yes, sort of. So literally everything you have, from your kind of life support system to the systems that stop you from getting radiation poisoning, everything is fueled. So they all have different things that fuel them. So, for example, if you've been mining loads of plutonium, then you can use a bit of plutonium to recharge your laser. Okay. And they all kind of run down as you play. Okay. But the likelihood is you're always going to have something to recharge it. So even if you get stuck in the deep bits of space, you're surrounded by asteroids, all of which have the constituent parts to refuel all of your ships.
Everything's mineable, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty clever.
Let's see. And Brian Emon says, can you change the temperatures to Fahrenheit and the meters to feet and miles and speed to miles per hour?
Not that I noticed. I did have a dig around because I was trying to find a way to turn the HUD off, and I couldn't see it. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say no, probably not. There's
your answer, Brian. Okay, here's an interesting question for the last one. Do you meet other players?
Now, my understanding was you could, but it was extremely unlikely.
Yes.
But I think you spotted something on Reddit yesterday.
We had a situation last night where it's kind of incredible actually, and Sean Murray from Hello Games has said this is incredible, 2 streamers discovered that they were in the same area because one of them found the same name of a planet that someone else had named. They realised that they were close to each other, they messaged each other, and then they set up 2 separate streams. And then everyone could see the fact that they were trying to get to each other, and they got to the same areas and they couldn't see each other. No matter what they did, they couldn't see each other. They tried dying to see if they could sort of get themselves onto the same plane of existence. They tried all kinds of things.
One of them bought PS Plus.
Yes, because one of them didn't have PS Plus and they thought that might be what was stopping it. So we're not sure whether you're on the same servers or what it is. Sean Murray has said that there is multiplayer. You can see other players, and he's saying that it is a shared universe and there are moments. So it's not like a Destiny type thing where you can go out and play with other people. You can't go on quests really, but there apparently is a lobby sort of system. They're being quite tight-lipped on it. But the theory is that and also there were literally millions of people playing last night.
Yeah.
So that might be what. Actually, interestingly, here's a trivia fact. More than 10 million things have been named, which is more like species than there are on Earth already. So they're quite proud of that.
Incredible. I love that it's taken literally a day to achieve what they thought was impossible. People were never going to meet. Quintilian planets. They're never going to bump into each other.
Yeah, everything.
One day.
That's it. Sean Murray's literally like, you've just met each other already? That's ridiculous. Because he's been saying this whole time, like, it's never going to happen, but we do have it in place in case it does. We've got this lobby system where people, which we haven't seen any of yet, because obviously these are the only two people that have met in 18 quintillion planets.
Well, personally speaking, I haven't bumped into anyone yet, but I wouldn't know if I had.
But you have met gremlin bears, and that's what's important.
That's important. Yeah,
that is important. And I think we'll finish there. If you have any questions for Matt as he continues his quest on day 3, please let us know in the comments. You can continue to read his review in progress around this video. And for everything else, keep to GamesRadar.